There are many parks in Italy named after Pasolini, even 2 parks close to Rome. But this one is particularly interesting because while it is in some ways the most important of them all, it is somewhat forgotten. Pasolini was murdered in November 1975 in Ostia, and 30 years after his death, 2 parks were named after him. One in Ostia and one in eastern Rome, in Prenestina area. This park is in Prenestina area and it's important because much of his work was influenced by the area. Before the place was made a park, it was known as part of Roma Prenestina. The area was practically wasteland next to the nearby railway and a small train station until 1928, when Mussolini's government started to clean up space in the city center. During the following years, hundreds of people were forcibly displaced from the city center to the outskirts of Rome. Technically, the government offered housing for these people, but in practice many of the buildings had no sanitation. There was only a simple earthen floor and often a single source of fresh water shared between several families. Also, almost next to these makeshift houses there were also many more or less illegal shacks built by poor people who had moved from the south to look for opportunities in Rome. Almost none of these buildings exist today. Almost all the substandard buildings were demolished by 1980s. As an interesting side note, the Roma camps in the area often resembles these early 20th century camps. However, politically people living there were all but unwanted. Especially after the Second World War, these people were treated more like disadvantaged citizens who would just need a little help from the society, and help was also provided. In contrast, the Roma camps are treated more as a problem to the society, and often the camps are dispersed and demolished, and in short time another camp pops up somewhere nearby. Today this park might look like forgotten at first, but it's not abandoned. It is in fact appreciated and used by the locals.